Do you think you'll ever be able to settle down and have a conversation and be friends with Kody and Robyn?
Janelle sat on the porch of her new home, the Arizona sun casting long shadows over the desert landscape. The wind whispered through the trees, carrying with it the scent of sagebrush and the weight of unspoken words. Her gaze drifted to the horizon, where the mountains stood as silent witnesses to the turmoil that had become her life. It had been nearly a year since she and Kody had parted ways. The decision had been mutual, or so she had thought. Yet, as time passed, the complexities of their relationship began to unravel in ways she hadn't anticipated. The most significant change was the growing distance between her and Kody's youngest children, particularly Ariella. Ariella's attachment to her father had always been intense, but since the separation, it had deepened into something almost suffocating. Janelle couldn't help but feel that Kody and Robyn's parenting style had contributed to this. She had always believed in fostering independence in children, but Ariella's constant need for reassurance seemed to contradict that philosophy. "I always felt like Kody and Robyn mismanaged the situation with their children," Janelle confessed to her reflection one evening. The words hung in the air, heavy with the weight of years of observation and concern. The tension between Janelle and Robyn had been simmering beneath the surface for some time. Robyn's attempts to mediate conversations between Janelle and Kody had only added fuel to the fire. Janelle had never asked for a translator for her relationship with Kody. She had always believed in direct communication, in facing issues head-on. But Robyn's insistence on being the intermediary had made Janelle feel sidelined, as if her voice didn't matter. She said, "Why don't you have a conversation with your dad?" "I'll be there because, I speak Kody," Janelle recalled, her voice tinged with frustration. "It's our dad. We don't really need you to speak Kody." The more Robyn inserted herself into their interactions, the more Janelle felt her autonomy slipping away. She had spent years building a relationship with Kody based on mutual understanding and respect. Now, it seemed as though that foundation was being eroded by someone who hadn't been there from the beginning. The financial strain that had accompanied their separation was another point of contention. Janelle had always been financially independent, managing her own affairs and contributing to the family's well-being. But since the split, Kody's transparency regarding finances had diminished. "He leaks like a sieve," Janelle remarked bitterly. "He told me stuff about his other relationships and his other wives that I was like, I don't think you're supposed to be telling me that." The lack of communication regarding financial matters left Janelle feeling vulnerable and disconnected. She had always prided herself on her ability to handle challenges, but this new dynamic was testing her in ways she hadn't anticipated. As Janelle navigated the complexities of her new life, memories of the past resurfaced. She remembered the early days of her relationship with Kody, the excitement of building a life together, and the joy of raising their children. But those memories were now tinged with sadness, as the reality of their separation took hold. The family gatherings that had once been filled with laughter and warmth had become strained affairs. The children, now adults, had their own lives and families, and the unity that had once defined their existence seemed to be slipping away. Janelle often found herself reflecting on the choices they had made, wondering if there had been another path they could have taken. But the past was unchangeable, and all she could do was move forward, carrying the lessons it had taught her. In the solitude of her new home, Janelle began to rediscover herself. She took up painting, capturing the desert landscapes that stretched before her. She joined a local hiking group, finding solace in the rhythm of her steps and the beauty of the natural world. Through these activities, Janelle found a sense of peace that had eluded her for years. She realized that her happiness didn't depend on anyone else. It was something she could cultivate within herself. As she stood on the porch one evening, watching the sunset paint the sky in hues of orange and pink, Janelle felt a sense of gratitude. Gratitude for the experiences that had shaped her, for the strength she had discovered within herself, and for the future that awaited her. She didn't know what that future held, but for the first time in a long while, she was ready to face it with open arms.